Yo, this is it. This is the video, y'all. This is the interview. You have to watch this, all right? This is not financial advice. I got the CEO of Hedera, all right? And you see that the title says Banking Crypto on Hedera, all right? This is not an understatement, and this is not to be undermined. This man right here is dropping gems, and if you don't listen, you're gonna miss out on the investment of a lifetime. Like I said, this is not financial advice. Do not invest in anything that I tell you to invest in, okay? I'm just bringing out the facts at this point, because this man is telling you what the credit unions are doing, all right? They, in particular, are specifically working with the credit unions. So you will be a fool to think that other banks ain't. I already showed the proof, but other banks are already involved. But this is specifically, I think Hedera is going to be for the credit unions. I don't want to talk too much, but literally, like, listen, I'm telling y'all, get into this game. They are going to change the life that we live in. They are going to change everything about the financial institutions that we know. Like the way you finance your homes, your cars, the way you invest in things, the way you hold value in things, it is changing the world. Oh man, it's mind blowing. But look, I'm gonna break down this video one more time and some more, because this man, I love this interview. He gave up so many gems. All right, let me stop talking. Let's get into this. Like I said, this is the CEO of Hedera, and look, gems. Let's get it.
When you look at, they've been talking about this for quite some time and trying to do things with Lightspark. Do you see this as being a competition to what potentially eventually could go into traditional banks, where the conversion is actually happening outside before it actually comes into a traditional fiat bank? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think that the convergence of those two systems is happening now. I mean, this is literally some of the things that we're working on with our credit union partner. Literally, our solutions are bolted directly onto the banking core. They directly touch your dollars and cents, and so there's no intermediary in the middle.
Yeah.
And because the institution is owned by you, when you put money into a credit union, you own the institution. You own the whole solution end to end.
Yeah,
that's what's exciting about it.
Not that way with traditional banks. What about Robinhood? You look at what Robinhood is trying to do. They seem to be encroaching on banking more and more. Obviously, they're a crypto exchange and a brokerage. Do you see those kinds of financial systems starting to impede or possibly compete, maybe on a third, rail of the banking system that kind of has become, whether you look at neobanks or what might be happening here in the credit union space, just your thoughts on how that might play out?
It already is impeding, and I think that's the point that we all need to understand. These are unregulated banks. So when you look at Cash App, when you look at PayPal, when you look at Robinhood, when you look at, these are unregulated banks. You don't have the same protections of an NCUA or an FDIC insured. I'm not saying that's better. I'm just saying that that's a consideration that should be had. Right? There's fine print. I mean, a lot of times when you see these institutions,
how are they getting an FDIC insurance on your deposits if that were not the case? Because they're cycling that through a sister bank,
a bank,
or a partner
bank. They're cycling it through a partner bank, a sister bank, and so the whole idea is, how do we put that technology? How do we put a Robinhood self-custody type of technology right in your bank, so it's not a facade on top of another banking infrastructure that's most likely using other third-party merchant rails, and then you're only dealing with one bank. Like that's not very open, right? Like I want to be able to take my Robinhood account or my self-custody wallet, for example, and if I want that to be at my Chase account, tied into my Chase account directly, right? Not through some intermediary connectivity where I'm going to pay $15 to get it out the other side. If I want it to be tied directly to my Bank A, because most people, I think, have more than one financial tool. And a lot of times the reason why they get a Robinhood or a Cash App is because these institutions have been left so far behind. Technology is so expensive for them to implement. They've been left so far behind. But really the best place for that to live is at the financial institution, where you're cutting out the vast majority of middlemen to get the same type of outcome. Because at the end of the day, the outcome is the outcome. The money gets into your account. The question is how much did that cost? How much risk was introduced in that equation? So I agree with you. I think that there's a massive, it's not coming, it's here. And that's what we're really working to displace is we need people working directly with institutions, multiple financial institutions, because the intermediary of a Robinhood or a Cash App doesn't provide any more stability to the system, frankly.
Yeah.
It fragments the stability.